This week I'd like to show you some other software I've been working on. Last week I showed some shots of Drivey in its various guises. This week I'd like to quickly demo a couple of other pieces of software in various states of completion. The first one I'm going to look at is called Jujusketch, and it's a drawing program. It's a very, very simple drawing program, I should say that now, so don't get too excited about it, but it has one or two very distinctive features. One is that it's an object-based program, which any graphic designers out there will probably understand what I'm talking about. But basically what that means is that instead of storing an image as pixels, as most bitmaps, which is what a bitmap is, most pictures online on a website, for instance, they're stored as pixels or bitmaps. They have a fixed size and a fixed number of pixels, and a fixed amount of detail effectively can be represented. If you zoom in, the picture will just become blurry. There's no extra information there. The other type of picture is called object-based. Well, I call it object-based. I'm not sure if that's the proper definition. People often say vector-based. And that's an image that's stored pretty much as instructions to draw. So for instance here, if I draw a line like this, a pixel-based drawing program would fill in pixels in an internal memory buffer, and that would now just have modified an internal bitmap. Whereas in an object-based program such as this one, every time I redraw the screen, or every time I change my view, it redraws my original line there. So you can see as I zoom in, the line doesn't lose resolution, it stays sharp all the way down. Which kind of leads me pretty much straight on to the more noteworthy feature of Jujusketch, which is that it has no real limit on zoom. I mean, it does have a sort of a limit, but for all intents and purposes, it's pretty much infinite. Which means that you don't really have to worry about what you're drawing. You don't have to plan a drawing up front. You don't have to decide how big it is up front. You can just start drawing. So anyway, I like to use it for general drawing purposes. But it's distinctive in that a lot of object-based programs, or at least older object-based programs, such as earlier versions of Illustrator, when you draw your line, it won't actually show you what it looks like until after you've already drawn the line. So as you're drawing a line like this, you're not actually seeing the shape of the line. You're seeing a stream of blue points in examples I've seen before. And then once you finish drawing your line, the blue points are replaced with the final line, and it takes away a lot of the natural feel of drawing. I mean, if you want it to feel like you're drawing a picture, and when you're drawing a picture, you can see the ink flowing out of your pen. But if you were to, if all you saw coming out of your pen was blue dots, it would take away a lot from the drawing experience. So basically, Jujusketch, the intention is to be, let me just go full screen here. The intention is to be a naturalistic, object-based drawing program, which in a sense kind of combines the feel of a pixel-based program, which often are very naturalistic. You get brushes and kind of very immediate response. You do a stroke, you see it being laid down as you're stroking the pen. But I want that immediacy, but I want the accuracy of the object-based as well. So you can see here I can zoom in and out an awful long way. Very easy to do. You've got extra controls over things like line thickness there, so it's it changes the quality of the drawing somewhat. One of the nice things about Jujusketch is, well, it's such a low-profile program. You saw it started very quickly. If I just take it back to a window, I'll just save that. I'll just close it there. So now let me run it again, and you see there it pops up in a fraction of a second, almost immediate. Similarly, you can then see here I'm paging through drawings which I've done previously. Here's one that is a good example of the zoom functionality. So you can see here a nice little detail, and if we zoom out step by step, just stepping out here, it could be smoother really, as you can see. Zoom out, there's a little man in a boat, he's sitting in front of some sort of volcano or something, and look, it's in the crater of another volcano or something. Anyway, it's not a very good picture, but gives a good impression of sort of infinite scale, which is something that simply can't be done with pixel-based drawing. So let's see, I can zoom in further here if I want, and right, I was here, very original, and that will stay there. So I don't know, I think maybe if I clean this up, it could be fun for kids, because you could have a sort of a like drawing a picture and adding little tiny details into it, being able to explore images seems like a fun thing to do. I'm not really sure. I have a young niece who's probably going to be interested in drawing pretty soon, so maybe she can be my guinea pig. Anyway, so let's see, what else have I not remembered to show here? Well, this pretty much gives, the whole point of Jujusketch is it's simple. Okay, so there's not a lot to be said about it, except that it does what I want it to do. For instance, like you saw those straight lines there. How do I do straight lines? Well, very basically, I use the mouse, and it's no frills. So there's not a lot of stuff going on screen besides the drawing itself. There's no handles, there's no selection boxes or anything like that. There is some basic selection in there. So for instance, if I go like this, I can select parts of drawings, and then I could move those around. So like it's got some of the features of a full-blown program, but simplicity is really the guiding principle at the moment. Anyway, I'm starting to waffle a bit there, so I'll just shut up for a second and just have a look and see if there's anything else I can show you there. Bunch of willy pictures, I should say. I have a nice example. Here's one. I use this. This is very old. This picture is one of my first big zoom out pictures. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's sort of like a gimmick, really, because obviously you can't really see this detail when you look at a picture. So you could ask, what's the point in putting detail that small in an image? But I don't know. I get a kick out of it. It's fun, and other people seem to be impressed by it. Like it seems like a cool thing to do. Although whether it's got any real usefulness, I don't know. Yes. Anyway, I might just get out of that blah blah blah. It's my scribble pad. That's what it is. And this page through functionality, you can see the file names changing in the top of the window there. That's a feature I've started really adding to pretty much all my software, because it's just so damn useful. Pretty much any type of file you're working on, chances are there are other files of the same type in that directory, and chances are you're going to want to look at them sometime. So the idea of this page functionality is it simply loads other files with the same extension from the same directory. So all of those are separate image files, and they're just stored in the same directory. I'm repeating myself, sorry. Anyway, I'll close that, and I might just leave it there for this episode, since it's probably going to be about 10 minutes long, and until next time, bye bye.